Hello, friends. How is everyone today? You see the sky? It finally stopped raining for a minute. My goodness. Somebody said we were supposed to have a wet, rainy summer. And I'm beginning to think so. But everything is growing so good. Oh, I'm looking at everything. I can turn it around. You can see that. It's just growing like mad leaps and bounds. I wanted to show you something. If you can see in that round dish, I made them. It's still partially together. Maybe I can... She's got her head in the way. But see that round dish? I made them what's called a party block. And they tore the heck out of it. They absolutely love it. And in that, I'm going to do a video on it because they loved it. Look, they're waiting for me. They're thinking, are you going to give us something or let us out? They should weigh 600 pounds a piece the way they eat. And she's up there sleeping. I wonder if she's going to move. She's up on her perch. See her? Right there? On her little perch. Anyway, I am going to do a video on it because it's so easy to put together and it's a nice little party block for the backyard chickens. Simple. All it is their scratch grains, and you mix their scratch grains, some wild bird seed, some uncooked oatmeal, eggs, molasses, raisins, some shortening, maybe I said molasses. I get too far ahead of myself, but it's a whole bunch of yummies all mixed up together for them, and they'll just love it. The radishes are coming up. The little girls are going to be so happy. See the radishes all coming up? They're going to love it. They're going to be excited to get here and see all that. I'm surprised the rain didn't destroy some of this stuff. And look at this. That's my salad mix. And I literally about chopped that down 2 days ago. And look at it already. I still got a huge gallon-sized bag, 2-gallon bag, in my fridge full of this. And I need to give some of it to my neighbor and my mom because they love the stuff. And I just can't believe the size of my potatoes. I just can't believe it. I had somebody come by the other day and ask me, what in the heck did you do to get your potatoes so big and beautiful like that? I have no clue. I just love them. I love to grow things. Look at my kale. That's my green and scarlet kale. It's doing good. And I need to take you guys out to my friend Willie's house where we planted a huge, enormous garden. And we had to dig up or till up more area to finish planting plants. Those are doing fantastic out there. Absolutely. I'm just so pleased with all this growing. Everything's just, and it's nice. My feet are all wet from walking out here because it did just get done raining. And take a look at that. That's my marigold. That thing is huge. And my cucumbers, no, those are beans, I'm sorry. Those are my beans. My cucumbers are on the other side. And look at my little bean over there, climbing up that. He's taking a shortcut to the trellis. I thought I'd give him a head start to the trellis. I think that's hilarious that it's it was in the package of bush beans. Yeah, everything is doing good. And I've got little sunflowers. I shouldn't say little. They're going to be nice sized sunflowers. I put them here on each side of my trellis. And I thought, oh, you know what? They'll be pretty growing up there. And that just absolutely blows my mind how well that liked that box. And I did see the comment. One gal told me that that cardboard helps to keep the heat in. Well, not only is it in cardboard, but I do have it lined in some plastic. And I know when I showed you these the other day, I told you these were extra, and I didn't know exactly where to plant them. So I just put them in these crates. But see, I lined the crates before I planted them with burlap from the farm. That way, when this is all said and done, I'll be able to throw all that burlap and dirt and whatever right there in my compost, because the burlap will break down too. That's what we use up on the tree nursery to wrap the trees in. And boy, I've got 3 people that want to come and buy some of my compost from me. It's fabulous stuff. I have to make more of it because I bet you I could sell it by the truckloads. And my one friend said, why don't you burn the wood and stuff that I've got there in that pile? Everything in there is burnable with the exception of that barrel. And that will be going to my neighbors. They said, why don't you burn that and then have people drop off compost or whatever in that hole, and it'll fill that hole in pretty good. Now that's an idea. We haven't got the greenhouse plastic done yet, but we'll get there. And my big mulberry tree, let's see. You can see it. It's that one right there. And it's huge. Look how big that mulberry tree is. And when those mulberries come in next month, I'll have half the town picking mulberries. And I just let them pull their truck up in there, get ladders. I don't care, take as much as you want. Use them. They're just going to fall off the tree. I can only use so many. You can only make so much jam. But mulberry jam is fantastic. So, I can't believe how much rain we've gotten. Just such a pretty little face. I love pansies. I think they're gorgeous. And look at how good my rosemary's doing. Boy, it just perked right up there. Absolutely wonderful. I came out here the other day and I harvested quite a bit of the lovage and the parsley over here. And I did a video on dehydrating a few things. Most of it was parsley, but the very next day after I did that video, I come out and I harvested so much more stuff. Now my neighbor, bless her heart, she's just a doll. She gave me that tub. And I know there's a big old crack in the bottom of it, but I'm hoping that is enough for drainage. So after it's done raining and it dries out, I'll find out if that's going to work. Otherwise, my husband's going to have to drill a few holes in that. And look, I almost need to get I've been meaning to put my little cages in there, my little tomato cages. Needs it. Pretty soon. That's what, take a jog over here. I did wind up planting my coolest cucumber hostas. They're beautiful. I'll take a look at them. See if they weathered the rain fair or not. That looks like they did. They did quite well. I put them on that. You can see on that side of my garden. I just love that color of them. They're absolutely gorgeous. They're almost like a variegated look. And I keep checking over here to see if my beans have come up, but they haven't come up yet. Got the little pumpkin plants are doing okay. And way over on the other side along there is peas. So everything looks pretty good though. I can't wait for the sun to come out again. But you know, there's hardly any bugs out. After a rain like that, it usually gets real muggy, and then the bugs, they're like ferocious. But there hasn't been any. I usually come out here and the back of my neck gets so bit up. I got a big bite there already. But the back of my neck usually gets so bit up by bugs, it's horrible. Look at my hostas there. I gave them a shot of fertilizer before all the rain, and they went bananas. They're beautiful. I've got 4 big, beautiful hostas through there. And that's it. And then the little bunny rabbit peeking out. And I spoke too soon about the bugs because there's the mosquitoes. I do got my pond, but anything that I have that has water in it, I have these little tabs that I got from the hardware, and it says that, you know, they're okay for birds and fish and, you know, wildlife. It won't kill them, but it will kill a mosquito larva. So I always put those in my pond, and I have yet to put one in my little bird bath. Otherwise, it will just be a bug factory. I love the Egyptian walking onions. They're absolutely cool. See how they do? They throw off runners, and then they get so heavy that they fall over, and then they'll reseed. I try to keep the weeds out of that. I redid all those rocks and took all the weeds and the grass out of there. So that little flower bed looks pretty good. See, there's my remnants of my mess left. I just have to clean it up. I know I always talk about the Petoskey stones, but has anybody ever seen a pudding stone? That stone right there with the yellow, looks like it got splattered with pudding, or the red. That is a pudding stone, excuse me. People up here, we say it so fast we call them pudding stones. But it's a pudding stone. And those come from up north, northern Michigan, up in the UP, throughout like Drummond Island. And I think this one, I don't remember where this exact one was found. Now we might have some down here, but not too many. Not like the Petoskey stones. But those stones there are worth a nice chunk of change. Just like the Petoskey stones, only those are more expensive. People make all kinds of goodies out of them, and they sell them for a pretty penny. But everything looks so lively. Look at my beans. All their little tendrils they sent out. They're growing so nice. I'm so pleased. Look at, they're growing right up the little trellis. And then these guys are already throwing out tendrils, and they'll be, pretty soon they'll be long enough that I can hook them to the, oh, I'm getting chewed up. They'll be long enough so I can hook them to the trellis and get them moving. And that's my little bird bath I put together. And I love the color yellow, but I don't like that yellow. So that little bird bath is going to get a new paint job over the new paint job. And I think I'm going to paint it either red or purple. I'm not quite sure. But if you can look in there, I put cute little Petoskey stones in there. See them? And when they get wet, that's when you can really see that it's a Petoskey stone. This is kind of rickety, but it'll work just for the birds. Oh boy, the gnats. I guess I did speak too soon on that. My nasturtiums are loving it planted next to my beans. They're absolutely loving that. Then over here, look at that nasturtium really took off. And I got more beans coming up. I had something that kept coming to visit and eating the beans. My little birdhouse gourds are doing Really good. Everything's doing good. I've had a nice weekend. My husband had a good Father's Day. And by the way, happy Father's Day to all you wonderful dads out there. I hope you all had a wonderful day. We didn't have anything special for dinner. Oh my goodness. Have you ever made... I followed a recipe for chicken pot pie, okay? And I thought, oh, that sounded good. I was going to, follow that recipe and make it. Well, I followed the recipe to the T. And I thought, that should taste pretty good. Oh my goodness. Have you ever made something and thought, oh, Lord have mercy, the dogs wouldn't even eat it? One of those recipes, it's like, why? That's why a lot of times I'm so leery to try a recipe, because this looked good, but oh no, it didn't jive. It did not taste good. And I did use my homemade pie dough on it, so that the dough or the crust was good, but it was the filling that had just a really different, strange taste to it that I didn't like, and my husband didn't like either. And I thought, oh my goodness, have you ever had that happen? I hate when that happens. It ruined dinner. So you know what we had for dinner? A bowl of cereal. And it worked out pretty well. It's all right. Those things happen now and then. I threw it out in the trash because I knew the girls, they wouldn't even eat it. I didn't think the chickens would even eat it. All right, friends. I'm going to go in before these mosquitoes carry me away. I think they weigh 12 pounds apiece. You all have a wonderful night. And thanks for watching.